Chapter 2 Trains A Dark Sickness. Santa Ana, California. 16 years old. Sophomore year, 2014. Soul suffocation in the heavy desperation. In this state, I face a particular temptation. One more gripping than any I have ever known. Even pride. I want to die. That should not come as a surprise. Suicide. She is the great poison temptress. I always hear her summoning me. Her call endlessly reverberates within the walls of my mind, so that I can hear no other thought. She disables me. I am so shaken, fixated on her like a dangling jewel. Inherent within her tempting is a fullness that belittles even raging sexual mania and ravenous greed. She promises more weightily than even the sirens, for with her there shall be peace in paranoia, hope in futility, satisfaction in want, and the reversal of affliction in despair. Here, she swears, is the way out from the curse. Now enter into my rest. The world will often oppress a man until his little inner reserves are too far stretched. Snap. At this place the man's pride will vanish like the vapor it is, though for a while it did artificially provide him with a lie of worthiness. At the departing of his pride, the man does finally recognize his total insufficiency. Heaviness surrounds him, crushing him, but he has nothing at his disposal to hold it back. The man asks himself where he went wrong to end up in such a place. How did I become such a slave to every weakness, fear, and vice? The man sees here that he is sick, as is the world he lives in. Not only that, but he is, and all are, powerless over this great afflicting sickness. Though he searches the world for any hope worth anything at all, the man uncovers nothing, neither big nor small. The poison temptress flicks the needle and shoots her brew. It spreads profuse down to bones and deep tissue. It rattles him. It sticks to him. Like glue, like glue. The pain is too deep. The brain fully seeped through. He sees no escape but only one. A shiny red button, labeled self-destruction. She will inject. The man will obsess. She will carry him down to a rest. Poison thoughts fill his mind. A noxious mist he will never detect. Oh, toxic fumes, toxic fumes. I have pondered the emptiness of life often. I hate it. What is there honestly to live for? Life is a cosmic accident. Existence is an accident. Meanwhile, we live each day to continue enduring more and more until we all finally die. Through it all, we pretend that we have purpose, that there are rules to life, and that some things are inherently valuable. With no end goal for life, the only finish line I can find is death. Thus, the finish line is arbitrary. There is nothing I can conceive of within the known universe that, if I should seek it out, upon finding it, death would become a good and welcome thing. What I mean is that I don't know of anything that can make life complete. So complete, in fact, that death might suddenly become acceptable and good. There is nothing out there to complete a man's life, so that it may end with closure. I admit that, despite all my suicidal ideations, death isn't good. The only time people long for death is during times of suffering without hope. Death never seems truly good, only less bad than suffering continuously. Therefore, the predicament I find myself in is that living is so fundamentally empty that death, though it is not at all filling or completing, but rather the opposite, totally emptying, appears filling in its taking away of our fundamentally empty lives. It is a contradiction, sure, yet so is life. Now, why some people desire the contradiction of life over that of death, I can only assume is because they are hedonists in love with their pleasures. Pleasures which they wish to continue loving temporarily. That is, after all, why I am still here. I am an addict. I have to get high. And that's the thing, I have a decision to make. There are two paths I see in front of me. Either I will continue passing half dead as an anesthetized animal through the belly of this snake, or I will escape the curse of life entirely. The suicidal theory races through my mind more obsessively than I think about even sex or getting high. My thoughts, hijacked, grow painfully morbid. I always fantasize about my death when I am sober. My dealer didn't come through today. so I've just been enduring the rest of it as I wait for sleep. I sit at my desk, weighted, slumped, torn up, nearly asleep, then suddenly enraged. Inside, I'm confused, feeling the pain as pleasure, which makes me feel insane. I am a devilish and sad clown, full of friction, about to self-destruct. How did I get like this? And I do not mean tonight, but deep down. I am clearly worse now than I used to be. I was not always such a coward. There is something about how the past haunts the present, and how mortal wounds from back then slowly kill me now. I assumed puberty would make me into a man, but all it did was stretch out the holes in my development and make me into a less complete child. I pull out my computer to check the times when the trains pass by the orange station. A mile or so from the station, the tracks intersect a road about 2 miles from my house. There is an opening there to the brick wall that runs parallel to the tracks. I will go to that intersection when it is late and dark, when no one will be around to spot a suspicious teenage boy walking along the tracks. I will creep along the shadow of the wall until I am out of view from the road. Then I will hide in its shadow, drinking stolen liquor from my parents and smoking wax until I cannot walk. Desert shrubs grow along this wall, some quite large. I will stay planted behind a shrub, waiting for the train to approach. When it is too late for the conductor to hit the brakes, I will jump. I picture my classmates seated on plastic chairs in the lawn at the center of campus, wearing their dress shirts and skirts for the mandatory ceremony for some student they never knew and never had any interest in knowing. It's embarrassing no matter how I picture it. There was never anything redeeming about me, except that I became academically ambitious. Whether I do it this week or next month, I will never be anything more than another one of the weak ones getting picked off. Who was it? Anyone special? No, just one of the weird kids. The image in my mind makes me sick. It fills me with rage. I close the tab on my computer with the train schedule. An online encyclopedia page detailing how to use a suicide bag pops up in its place.